Swinging, dancing in the street, Philadelphia, PA, dancing in the street.
That's time. Good morning, Roswell. So usually when we're 26, we expect to see some snow, but I'm glad we don't have any. So take it away. Yeah, let's get some gratitude going.
Okay, I get the chocolate kisses and I'm a really bad throw, so you gotta be able to really catch it, okay? All right, anybody? What are they grateful for today? Anybody wanna go first? Come on, I know I got a grateful crowd, okay.
Andrea.
Oh, yes. She's a newly joined us.
Grateful for starting that easy course with this is just with us.
Welcome, Deja. All right, anybody else? Hey, Wham. Another, can you please introduce yourself? Another newly.
But I've been in the state investor for the last few years. So this time I'm gonna make it formal so I can be good news. But at the same time, help my community find the right place. I'm grateful that I found some leads before I get my forms. So I'm like waiting anxious with Realtor Association forms. Might see.
Anybody else real quick?
I'll go.
Go, Kima.
All right, Peter Kimura, and I'm thankful for the new ISA on Team Kimberly. Kevin, he's been helping me with role play, and it's definitely been helping me out on the phone, so.
You, Leah, don't you guys love the fact that we have such a collaborative environment like that? I mean, here's Chemo working with somebody else on another team. Right? That used to be on. This is what it means to be a part of a KW family, is that I tell you, I was at a broker, my husband and I were at a broker many years ago. And literally, you've heard me say some of these, this brokers will remain unnamed, but literally, if I was sending a contract to the printer, it was like this. Hit enter and you sprinted to the printing machine. Why? Why did you do that?
Somebody might have someone later.
It's awful.
And you were afraid you don't see your client or see how you wrote the contract, or they might be bidding on the same house and you don't want to. I mean, this is what I mean. The contact was just brutal, and it was just. And here, I've literally seen contracts sitting on the printer, and what do we do? We go, oh, it looks like, oh gosh, it looks like Lorenda's got her contract here. Where's Lorenda?
That's right.
Right? And you don't even look at it. Ooh, I wonder how much Lorenda is offering on that. No, right? No. So I am grateful that we are in a collaborative environment. All right, who's going to Chart Masters today? 1 o'clock. Every hand should be raised if you can do it, because Chart Masters is where Andy and Leslie Peters, they run the Peters Company. They are also, Andy is also the operating partner with us. So what I love about this is Chart Masters is where they break down all of the stats that happened last quarter and projections for what's going to be happening this year, right? So what does that do for, they actually take the stats and translate it, kind of like what we do, so that you know what to say to your clients. Don't we, I mean, stats are great, but how do we translate that into converting them into a buyer or seller? And they're going to talk about that today. So I'm going to end at 12. You guys better be looking at that clock and doing like this to me, because last week's team meeting went way too long, and I apologize for that. I just had some surprises where it's like, oh gosh, we got 2 vendors. So it's I get you in and out of here, right? So that's not going to happen. So I'm going to shut my mouth now and we're going to go on. Okay. at Versailles Conference Center. So where do we have a calendar?
I will put the
Yeah,
address on here.
we'll get the calendar, we'll get the address up. All right, and you better get there early because it's gonna be a packed house. That's why I'm letting you guys out of here at noon. Fly up there, get a good seat. Okay, get ready to take lots and lots of notes. All right, so we've got a vendor sponsor, Champia, Lisa from Champia. is gonna come up here. Thank you.
1 minute. So I want to introduce Bill Compton. Bill owns Champion, was the founder, so yay. And Sarah is our client care coordinator. So when you call, you'll get here, Sarah. She is the best at helping agents. So 2 things we're going to tell you about that we are doing to help and support you. It's on the flyer.
Yep, it's on the flyer, and basically, one is, every month, we're gonna be drawing a $350 gift certificate for you guys to go to a nice restaurant around town. It's gonna be based on, who gave us inspections that month, it's gonna be in the drawing. And the first one's gonna be Frankie's, the steakhouse. Have you guys been there? On Sugarloaf? If you haven't, you gotta go. It's fantastic, best steakhouse I know of in Atlanta. The next thing is, we've always offered warranties with our home inspections. Usually they're 90-day warranties. So some of our competitors do 90 days. This year, we're stepping it up. We're offering a 125-day warranty. Nobody else in Atlanta is doing that. So when you get an inspection with Champion, you also get a 125-day warranty for your client.
Which will give your buyers protection long after they actually purchase.
All right.
So we're excited about that.
Today, we're going to give away a Starbucks gift card.
Yeah.
Has everybody got their card in here? All right, so, yep, let me draw one out here. All right, it's going to go to Yvonne Harden.
Well done. I didn't even have to time you. That was awesome. All right, so Alliance Partners, Kathy, come on up. We missed you. Okay, I just have to say, her team, she is usually #1 every year in all of Shelter Mortgage. Now, 2022 was a bit of a rough year. A little bit. She was #2 in the entire country. So, we missed you.
Yeah, it was really cool. Again, Kathy Vitale, Shelter Mortgage. We had 280 loan officers nationwide come in to Puerto Rico, and they have to do a 4-hour business meeting to justify the expense. So that morning I was asked to be on the panel, and it was so funny. Like when you speak, you like to be the first one. I do, because then I don't
Yes.
worry and think about it. I was the last. And in the middle, sitting in the middle last, sweating, thinking, because they didn't tell us what questions they were gonna ask at all, right? So they asked the question, they finally get to me, and the president of the company asked the question. It was so easy. So easy. It's like, you're in an alliance, you've been there 16 years. What do? Show up every day, try to add value, guarantee the agents that I'm there for them, whether it's our loan or not. Add value, just keep adding value. And eventually, hopefully the relationship will build, we'll get the business. You don't have to ask for the business, and y'all are in the same way with the Ford method. I told them that, make sure you know about their family and their occupation and their recreation and their dreams. And that's what I'm telling them now on their clients, y'all. I'm offering Zoom calls now or FaceTime to clients going, hey, do you want to like see face to face? Is that, and most of them are saying yes, they're doing it. So think about that face to face. Do you know them? Do you care about them? Do they know that? And even if we don't get the loan for whatever reason, usually they're apologizing, going, I really wanted to go with you because we built that relationship, but this is why. So anyway, that was my speech down there, and everybody was just like, oh my gosh, that was great. I'm like, but it's just the basics, show up. But thank you so much for the support. If it wasn't for this office and opportunity, Tammy and I would not be there, because this is, at least 65% of our business, and we appreciate it. And anything we can do to add value, whether it's client appreciation, first time home buyer, the FaceTime, Facebook Live. If you want a mortgage person to interview, if you want something of that nature to build your business, let us know. Because we're happy to do that. We want to do that. Tomorrow, big day, 10 a.m., the Economic Outlook. Guys, we're the lowest office to register this time. I don't know why. It's really weird. We've got over 300 people, right, between the three offices, but Roswell's like the lowest.
And can
Yeah, I don't know why I looked at it. I'm like, okay, I'm the slacker. I obviously hadn't talked much about it.
Okay.
But this is Atlanta Economics, y'all. This company is one of the top nation. We pay a lot of money for this. It's not gonna be something you can listen to later. It will tell you about what's going on in Atlanta and talk nationwide. So you've got talking points, whether it's for your reels or whether it's with your clients. You, like me, you've got to be the expert. You're going to be learning from the top experts in this. You're going to have scripts to walk away from. And as I said, we can't send it out. We can't record it. But if you're on your laptop and you start taking phone pictures, who's going to know that, right? So
I'll be on that.
just don't take the slides that you make a picture of and send those out. Plagiarize it. Whatever, or use it as talking points. But honestly, it's very informative. And we're happy to bring it and things of that nature. We'll be doing the appraisers classes again this year. I'll be teaching the mortgage A through Z. We'll bring the reels, the marketing girls back for learning how to do the reels. This time when we do the reels class, it's only going to be reels. It's going to be the whole time, real time, how to use them, how to add the music, how to put your own notes in it, and get to that next level.
Yeah, awesome. Love it.
All right, thank you.
All right. I've bragged a lot on Kathy, but I will tell you that there were times that I've had clients in the past where she would try to match that. And there were times she couldn't match a deal. And she would say, I can't match it. You should take the deal. Right? And if the deal went south, they would call her back and say the deal went south and she was able to get their business. But even if she didn't, that wasn't what she was going for. She was honestly trying to help them. And sometimes if it's some sort of builder incentive and she can't match it, she'll be honest with the client and tell them. But at least have them talk with her.
Hang up with them right now, they'll give you that, help them to push the button,
Now.
and grab it.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely, even if they don't want to go with us, even if I'm not pulling credit, if you're looking at something or hearing something that just doesn't sound right, if your client has a really high APR, let me look at it with you. Let me see if I can help understand why, if it really makes sense.
Perfect.
Happy to do that.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for that, Kathy. We've got several different things in here that will stay in the slides and just a little mortgage update that Kathy provided from Shelter. So that will be in the slides that we send out later this afternoon. All right. We've got McMichael and Gray, one of our newest joint ventures in the house. Erica and Amanda, come on.
All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Erica Bridges, and I'm the marketing manager for Michael and Gray. I have Amanda here with me for if you have any legal questions, because please do not ask me. She is our attorney, and she's more than happy to help you. Just short and sweet, we have about 60 attorneys on staff that are here as nothing but more than a resource for you all. So if Amanda, for whatever reason, can't help you, there's plenty of other ears to listen. As far as marketing services, feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to help you with CE credits, graphic design, event planning, flyers, whatever it may be, but
Yeah.
everything you want to add?
Yeah, I'm so excited to meet you guys and hopefully have the opportunity to work with each and every one of you. I've been with Michael and Gray for about 9 years. And we've got my cell phone right here. So if y'all have questions, whether it's maybe a contract that we're working or maybe even with another firm that we're not closing, I'm still happy to help you guys with anything you may need. Like she said, questions with legal descriptions, special stipulations, general questions that may pop up. I'm just here and I'm excited to really hopefully meet each and every one of you individually. But yes, feel free, let me know if you have any questions. I'm not gonna do anything for y'all.
Yeah, and just to clarify, we do have Amanda here, and there's also going to be an agent services representative. So the agent services representative essentially has like a bat phone to Amanda. So if for whatever reason Amanda has to jump out to a phone call, whatever it may be, there's always gonna be somewhere that's someone that's literally right here all the time to help with any questions you may have. But again, feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions about marketing or of course, any closing questions. Thank you.
So if you've ever closed new construction, you may have closed with McMichael and Gray, because they do a ton of new construction closing. So we're looking forward to being more in business with you guys. So thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, do we have Kelly or Michael? So you guys, Georgia Natural Gas, I gotta tell you that this savings that Georgia Natural Gas does for your clients, just check it out, gng.com. G&G Hub, the discount is KW Roswell. So share that with your clients. It's a good savings. Doesn't cost us anything, doesn't cost you anything. And they've got a really cool little incentive program for agents. Home warranty update, 210 home warranty. You've already heard from her. Kelly's awesome. So a great company, 210 home warranty. All right, tools to help you do more business. We have not had this slide in forever, have we? But these are tools that I realized, oh my gosh, I have neglected telling you guys about all of the tools that you have available. Who uses Key Please? Okay, raise your hands high if you use Key Please. Okay, now when you say you use Key Please, I'll bet you some of you are using it differently than others. Adam, what do you use Key Please for?
Showing the system.
Okay, good. Who else raised their hand? All right, how about you, Marinella? What do you use it for? Same. How many newbies do we have in the room? Raise your hands high. Newbies, raise your hands high. You want to make some extra money? 35, 50 bucks, something like that. Download the Key Please app. And guess what happens when Adam or Carrie or Marinelli needs to have somebody, maybe Adam's on his honeymoon that he was last month. And maybe he needed somebody to show houses, and he would go into the Key Please app and say, I need 123 Main Street shown between 12 and 1 today. And it gives you the money that person is going to pay for that. You can pick it up and you can get. Now, would that mean that you get that person's client for it? No. Right?
But they can drop off something too. It's not just open the door. So I had somebody drop a lockbox off in the house once, because I was in my building.
Right. Drop off a lockbox. Somebody, she said, she had somebody drop off a lockbox. Right? Maybe it's to install a sign or something like that. Speak loud, so they can hear you on Zoom.
Sure, I got my back one back from, I think it was last year, it was probably 2021. I think created a system that.
Perfect. I love that. So Key Please, it's a great way to connect busy agents with not so busy agents. You guys, all of these links are live on this slide. So when you get them this afternoon, you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, where do I go? Just click on the link. Just click right here. Click on Key Please. It'll take you where you need to go. You can go to the App Store, download the app. Okay, cool. Questions? Man, I'm doing good. It's 11:20. Here we go. All right, upcoming events, Tuesday, the 24th, so 1 to 3. Oh, look, it's already up there. Ronald Reagan Boulevard coming is Chartmasters. Tomorrow, we've got the Economic Outlook that I will be on. Who has friends that want to get into real estate? Raise your hands. Yes, right? Gosh, guys, we pay for them to go to school for free. How great is that for a student to get into one of the most lucrative business on the planet, and they can go for free? So make sure you send them to Career Night with Leah, because she's going to explain all of that. Top 20% mastermind 1 to 3 this Thursday, 27th, new agent launch with Leah. Orientation, you guys know we have our masterminds Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 to 9. How many of you are enjoying that? Those masterminds. I'm so glad. Good, because you know, it's fun to mastermind with your clients. 1, 2, 3. 1 happy birthday. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday. So let's just start. Marks is today. Zara's not in here. Karen, you guys, Karen fell. And sprained one wrist and broke the other, and she's just about clueless, so, who's organizing, is that,
I think Susan was gonna put something together.
okay, so if anybody wants to help Karen, she's been with us a long, long time. If you want to help her, please contact Susan Corley, because that would be really, really great. Okay, here we go, market update. What do you guys see? What are you seeing in the market?
Some multiple offers coming back.
How about that?
3 different scenarios this weekend.
Wow, nice, nice. So, how about open houses? Anybody doing open houses and having a lot of people showing up at open houses? Yeah, I heard that. Tell us.
Saturday was like 30 groups and then Sunday was like 35, 40.
Gosh, but the market is so dead.
6 offers in less than 48 hours.
Come on,
I'm already under contract. I got a backup over ask and I'm still getting offers.
come on.
Actually, 5 of them under contract at 5.
All right, so, you know what, the reason why we asked that is we're thinking it's gotta be a low price point, right? We gotta, if it, there, it's probably a $250,000 property, that's $525,000. And it sounds to me like you got more than 100% of that list price, yeah. All right, we don't want to jinx it. We don't want to jinx it, but hello. That's awesome, yeah, oh, I got 15 backups, we're cool. All right, good job. So yes, we are seeing that. So let's just see what is happening over the last 3 weeks. Now I'm liking these numbers a little bit better here than this one, right? Still low, but if we've got this many pending, what's gonna happen here in about 3 weeks? It's gonna go up, right? It's gonna go up. So does this surprise you at all?
No.
No, it shouldn't. We've been watching it, right? And this is these are today's stats. Now, I could go over this every single time, and I'm not going to, because Chartmasters is going to give you some numbers this afternoon that may look a little different than this. Y'all know already that Scott and I have a conversation almost every Saturday morning about stats.
Hey.
See, oh, it's riveting. So, but it is slightly different. Why? Different methodologies. That's all. Different methodologies. You might say 25%, I might see a quarter. It's a different methodology, right? All right, so how many homes? I got giveaways, giveaways, giveaways. All right, this is compliments of Pete. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Now, I will let you round up. You don't have to have an exact number. However, one of the things is that I have in here, and if you're good with a calculator, you might remember how many homes sold last year. If you remember, ballpark it, how many homes nationwide sold last year? All right, now what I want you to do is tell me how many homes sold in the United States.
194.
All right, hang on, we're talking per day. We're talking per day. How many homes? All right, per day. Give me some numbers. Adam.
16,986.
Oh, that's very specific. All right, that was Adam. All right,
18,000.
18,000
Yeah.
is Oscar. All right, Scott.
12,600.
12,600. Stop. All right, Chris, then let's keep your hand up. Chris.
689.
I was closer before you.
All right.
690.
or something here with me here.
13,422.
Okay, I'm gonna, wait, what?
13,611.
We have another hand over here.
All right, so 1690 was Brian and then Precious and then Ann. Okay, one more? All right, I'm gonna take three more and that's it. Taylor.
I won that back, man.
Okay, next.
Sorry.
Wait, what?
13,680.
Okay,
Oh.
that's Tracy. Okay, who else? 15,400. Corey, you're all wrong. But this is not rigged. I'm just saying.
We couldn't hear online.
Yeah, you got inside.
Yes. Is really it. 11,000. 11,000. I've got one more to give away. How many of you are signed up for Bold? I'm so excited. Y'all know I don't like to lose. And if I'm number two, y'all already.
No, number. No. We must be number one.
Yes. Here, registration. The next one, I need the first person who can stand up and tell me and tell me when I say I end with number three, I'm gonna say number one, number two, number three. When I say number three, you stand up, you know the answer. You ready? I need three bold laws. 1, 2, 3, go.
No pressure.
I need three. You gotta give me three.
Emotions is both emotion, if it's not.
Wait, what'd that say? What'd you say? All right, Court. You got three bold laws right now.
Okay, life by design, not by, default. Is that one of them?
Yes.
Okay, no pressure, no diamonds, right? And then there is, hold on, if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist.
That last one on there, Raymond.
Wait, say that one?
If it's not on your calendar, it must be on. Okay, where? Where he got it?
All of them now.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, you can turn that around, you guys. Mindset. Awesome. Okay. All right. Yep, thank you. Here we go. Okay. Over 11,000 houses sell every day. That's what I say. Right? That's exactly. Houses sell every minute. Adam,
I was gonna say that my calculation was based off of 261 days of the year where closings can occur, because we only close on the weekends.
I know, I mean, you two are like out of control over there. All right, so how many houses, how many minutes do you have today?
I didn't know.
I couldn't even do it, right? 8 houses sell every minute, 11,025 divided by 24,467 every hour. How many are you getting? How many of that do you want? Right? Okay. I want to brag on us just a little bit. I stole this from Peggy Connor's page. Thank you so much. Everybody in Atlanta somehow has the erroneous idea, Carrie, this luxury agent. Everyone has this erroneous idea that we are not number one in luxury. Numbers don't lie, Mr. Statistics back there, right? 592 listing sales, 1,780,703 KW sales, more luxury in Atlanta than any other brokerage. Yes. Now, here's what I want to do. The agency, there's a luxury company that up in New York, they deal in the Caribbean, they deal in all the major metro areas except for us, and they're called the agency. And here's where I love what they said: preparing their annual red paper and examining the global real estate. Obviously, there's been a shift. Hello, we knew that. We knew that in 2018. And then, however, when you compare the market in 2022 to that of 2021, it's an anomaly, and we can't compare stuff like that, right? We know that. However, through our research and data exploration, we uncovered that there is still a great deal of demand. Hello, multiple offers, open houses going crazy. There's still a great demand, and there's low inventory. And in terms of the luxury market, it's strong with abundant wealth to be distributed across older and younger generations. The takeaway: housing remains a primary investment for the world's most affluent citizens. Affluent citizens do not just buy, oh, I think I'll buy a treasury bond to hedge. No, they're going to put it into something that is going to make them money, and that is a real estate asset. Right? So will real estate always do well so that we can sell over 11,000 houses? Yeah. Is it a great investment? Yes. All right. We're going to skip that. Okay. Was it 2017 you were looking at the year, or 2018? 18. Yes. All right, we'll fix that. So I remember when Carrie came into this office. I remember watching. Because within a couple of years, she was my competition. And she has blown it out of the water. And proud of her. So I thought, why don't we just hear from Carrie and see what she's doing right? Anything wrong or has done wrong? Oh my gosh. Did this deal once where I forgot to order the inspection. I was a brand new agent, true story, by the way. You know, that was the best lesson I ever learned, because guess who had to pay for all the repairs? Oh, Lord. Oh. Tough lesson to learn, right? However, I learned it, and every time I tell that story, people are like, order the dang inspection. I'm like, Robin. And then next thing you know, they just decided to take it as is. I'm like, oh. Because I wasn't with KW and I never had any trouble. Didn't even know. So order the tank inspection immediately, even before you go under contract, get the inspection order. So we're gonna hear from Carrie, and I want you to ask any questions that you have for her. I've got a couple of questions up here, I've got 5. Carrie, come on up here, everybody give Carrie some. A seat, and first of all, thank you. And I love that you're wearing your bold colors today.
You know, I didn't really even think about that, so after I put it on and it's not
Subliminal.
over here
It's
too, so
subliminal.
yes.
So I love that. All right, Carrie, so let's pretend we're back in 2017, 18 when you started.
Okay.
What would you do differently? Looking back now, what do you like about what you did and what would you do differently?
I would say I guess starting with what I would do differently, I would try to get organized and stuff a little bit sooner. I'm a doer and I like to kind of always be in motion, but I could have sworn it was a bold law, but then I couldn't find it being a bold law. But I think one of the things, at least they talked about it bold, was sometimes you have to go small to go big. And that was something that sometimes I was just like, you know, call myself fly by the seat of my pants girl, you know, like, oh, I'm here, I'm there, I'm doing stuff. So I would have like taken the time to say, okay, what exactly do I want my brand to be? You know, what is my look? What are my colors? You know, what am I trying to do? What's my mission statement? What, you know, is there a special niche am I really focused on first time home buyers or, you know, single moms or whatever that is, and really try to get a better focus on things and be more intentional rather than like being a Cheesecake Factory menu or something like that.
Okay, for those of you who have never eaten at Cheesecake Factory, can we just qualify? It's like 48 pages long practically of options.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So I would definitely say that would be something that really, I mean, because to be very frank and honest with you now, like my goal and my focus for this year, like my word is consistency. So I'm actually having to go back right now and do things that I didn't really take the time to do. I think I mentioned a few weeks ago in the market stats call, I'm finally getting like a proper fancy listing presentation. If I had to put up here the listing presentation that I've shown people, like you guys would seriously laugh at me. Feel like, what the hell did you just stick up there? So I'm like, okay, I need to like stop and pause and have something that looks good and looks professional to be able to give out to people. And I'm having, you know, just some nicer templates and other things created and just trying to get things better organized to help me go big in time. So that would be one thing I would do. And then the things that I'm coming back to that I did when I first started was I kind of came in and I tried to be pretty fearless, you know, how many conversations can I have? How many things can I do? What can I get out there? You know, what can I do to let people know that I'm in real estate? And I'm chuckling because, you know, sometimes I did something and it worked. Like sometimes, like, cause I try not to take myself too seriously and I'm not afraid to be embarrassed or anything like that. So like, I would like make videos like Alive in Roswell. Hey, this is Carrie Veal. I'm here live in Roswell and this is great. And this is why you want to live in Roswell. And it turns out like I had 2 different people like, hey, I really like that video. You know, do you want to help sell my house? So I'm like, okay, that was great. And then I had other things.
Wait, how much did that cost you?
Oh, nothing. Yeah. Nothing. It just, you know, me making a video and people, you know, maybe walking by, maybe laughing or maybe wondering what I'm doing. I don't really know. And then other times I would do things and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm seriously never going to do that again. One of the things I did one time, and this is kind of twofold. When I first started, I was like, my husband does, as you guys know, DJ stuff inside, and he was DJing the fireworks at Wills Park in Alpharetta. I was like, I'm gonna hand out flags to everybody there with my business card on that. Like, no, do not do that, because what inevitably happened, at least to me, was the only people who got it and called me back were really weird people that I did not want to call me or like were asking other things like that. And then even recently, I thought I was being really slick. Like we go to Aurora Theater And they had one of those things up there where you could put your business cards in. I'm like, oh, ha ha ha, someone else's business cards in here. I'm gonna put mine in here. Like total big mistake. And again, this may work for you, but I ended up getting called by like this guy who literally like started to harass me. Like, can we do a Zoom call? Can I see your family? Can I, I'm like, oh my goodness. Doing that again. So just trying to, I mean, do things where I think I'm gonna get, you know, at least my intention to get more of a return. But I mean, I could literally name 10 million and one different promotions or things I've done where I'm like, oh, well, that didn't maybe go the way I planned it, but at least I know. And then sometimes I can look back and I can reflect and say, okay, what did I do that, you know, maybe caused this to not get the effect I wanted? Or sometimes you're right, sometimes it's something you weren't even planning out or something you did do and you're like, hey, that was a great return on my money. I'm gonna do that again all day long.
Yeah, yeah. So what about what happened when your first deal blew up and why did it blow up? She's like, I've never had any deals blow up.
Oh my God, you mean like it terminated, it canceled,
Yeah.
we all parted ways,
Yeah.
we all. I guess probably the first thing that comes to my mind, and we were not under contract, but we had to like part ways, and it was definitely one of those things. So the one thing I've realized, and sometimes as agents, you know, we're just so hungry for business. We're so hungry. We want it so badly. We don't ask enough questions. We definitely don't ask the right questions. And that's where I've always kind of found that I fall into when I get caught up in that and I'm not digging down deep enough and I'm not asking the right questions. I'll get people who maybe are not super motivated or people who are not telling me the whole truth of things and stuff like that. And so basically I had gotten these people and it was one of those, you know, Facebook, pick me, you know, who knows a realtor? And normally I don't do that. And I did it. And I ended up with these people and like, we were just not a fit from day one. And my regret really, and this is one thing I definitely want everyone to hear loud and clear, is you have to set your limitations in terms of what you're going to accept and what you're not going to accept. Because you have to remember, and I know Kathy Ray shared a story like this before too, working with these buyers, is that, you know, you're focused and you're trying to help them. But if they're sitting around wasting your time, you're passing up other great business and dealing with these people who may or may never buy and may never sell. And that was the way these people were. Basically, they just didn't have any respect for my time. You know, I remember one time it was so awkward, like we were supposed to be meeting and it was really far. It was like out in Beaufort. I'd driven an hour to get there. They showed up an hour late. They didn't call, they didn't text me. I was in someone's home, like it wasn't even vacant. And then they got there. And so we went around, we looked at the homes and then, you know, I said, okay, you know, we're ready to go. And they're like, oh, you're not just gonna like drive through neighborhoods with us and see if we see for sale signs? I'm like, no. Oh, our other realtor did that with us. And I'm like, okay, if, you know, I don't, you know, I don't really know where that's going to get us. And we just ended up thankfully parting ways and something, but it was really a lesson to me. Like, I'm not going to, you know, accept being treated like that or other people you haven't worked with. I had one woman and I got tricked into it because she was looking at Roswell, so it's close by. I showed her so many homes and so many different things. She would do the same thing too. Sometimes show up late, never apologize, never say thank you for anything. Just like, that's what you do. You're my agent. Like, I'm not going to be treated like that again. And don't allow yourself to be treated like that either. Just think while you're hanging on to this person, they may or may not do something. You're passing up really great people to do business with.
Yeah. What question so far? I don't want to monopolize. Who has a question for her?
Y'all can ask me anything. I don't care.
Go for it.
What piece of advice would you give to new agents starting out? What was the question?
That's a good question.
What piece of advice would you give to new agents that are just starting out?
Did you guys hear that in the back? Good. What piece of advice would you give somebody starting out, a brand new agent?
I would just say, you know, be confident in yourself and try to come up with same kind of thing, the way you want to be treated. And really too, like I always say, don't be a secret agent. Let people know, have conversations. You just never know where it can lead to. I've had so many people who I've met who've come into my life and I'm so fortunate, like just literally randomly, like talking to people. Like one time, for example, I was at the grocery store and I had Trader Joe's had these super cutie little like boxes of like 4 little sea salt caramels. And then a little thing in there to put like a gift card. And I put my business card in there, I was giving them out. And the guy checking out, he's like, oh, you're getting a lot of these. What is this for? I'm like, oh, well, I'm a realtor. Let me tell you. He's like, oh, you're a realtor. I actually need help. Like, I'm like, ah, got you covered. You know, or one time literally, and this was totally random. I was like making a phone call to an agent. I misdialed the wrong number. And I called this woman and she's like, oh, I think you're looking for someone else. This is not me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I'm an agent and trying to see this house available. She's like, oh, you're an agent? It's like, yeah. Next thing I know, I start this whole conversation with her about selling her house. Like, you just don't be worried. Don't be caught up in this. Oh my gosh, what are they gonna say? What are they gonna do? You know, just go out there and put yourself out there. I mean, yeah, sometimes, I mean, the worst they can say is no. Oh, well, pick yourself up, move back on. I mean, and that's the thing too, I would also say for new agents is that when you first start, it's competitive. I mean, it is. And sometimes you're taking Ignite and you're in there with other people and you're coming in and you're like, oh my God, so I work so hard. And then the person next to you, like, oh my gosh, I just got a listing. It's great. You're like, you're like, not like, you're almost in classes and I'm here busting my butt, you know, and sometimes it's just natural. You're going to feel a little bit jealous of someone, but what you have to do, and I make myself do that, is I have to sincerely say to them, oh my gosh, way to go. Congratulations. You got this. And as soon as you do that, you release like that negative energy and it only builds you up more. 100% guarantee.
That was a great question, Corey.
So what would you, I have like a bunch of unformed questions in my head for you. But when you first started, what was it, when you think back, that allowed you to be so successful and to get Rookie of the Year status? And then how would you say that you've changed over time?
That's a great question. I think just willingness. I mean, I had a great corporate Turner background of just willingness to kind of be able to do anything. Like, I never put it like, I didn't do that. That's beneath me. I don't do that. I need to, like, someone's gone and their trash is stinking up the garage. I need to take it out. I need to take it out. I need to go to my trash cans. It needs to go to my trash cans. I'm selling a home in fall. You know, the driveway is covered in leaves. Well, I got to go over there and blow the leaves. Like, I got to do what it takes to get things done. And I feel like I still definitely have that. But then at the same time too, a definite thing I would recommend to everybody, because I feel very fortunate that my business has grown a lot because of referrals. And if you can get 1 or 2, so my very first client I ever had in real estate, he was the husband of one of my friends at the school. She and I, our daughters were in kindergarten together at the time. They're now in 6th grade, but she's like, oh, you know, my husband wants to buy an investment property. So we're like, okay, you know, and then I went and I found him that. And then just from helping him and doing a good job, he had a very close network of people. And he gave me another person who gave me another person who eventually, Ms. Zora was one of the people in the chain. Like, I've got like a huge chain just from one person. And you can do that and do right by one person. And like we always say, might not be your family members. Sometimes usually isn't your family members, but someone else who can kind of sing your praises, who when other people listen, oh, you're selling your home? Oh, here, you're going to call Carrie. It's going to be, you know, she's going to take care of it for you. That's what you want. Find those people, those advocates, and just really do whatever you can for them.
Go, Jan. Carrie, what percentage of your business do you think comes from referrals? And do you track that?
I'm glad you said that because I just went through that the other day. And because I was thinking about that in bold. No, I was thinking about in bold because they were saying that. I'm like, damn, they need to tell us before we go to bold. Like, we need to have this breakdown with us because I need to know.
I know.
And so that is actually one of the things I've been tracking. So if y'all don't have this, and I'm going to sound very ignorant here because I'm doing better about command, but sometimes I need old school. So I have an Excel spreadsheet and it's broken out by every single year. I have it broken out. And then I have a whole column, you know, January closings, February closings, March closings, who the buyer was, the address, how much they bought the house for. And then I have put on there, how do I know them? Is it someone I met because I sent a golden letter, open house referral, sphere of influence? And then I will say I added on too, I'd gone to Dustin Kimberly's class in December, and he had done a whole great thing that I thought was very helpful about motivation. And so what I did, I only tracked this bet last year, but when I found out, I went through, I said, What was the reason that they bought or sold a home?
Yeah.
New baby, relocation. The people I found who I showed more homes to than anyone else didn't really have a concrete reason. They're like, oh, I've got money saved. Market's good, rates are good. I'm gonna buy a home. Those were the ones I'm like, 50 homes, whatever, yeah, let's keep going. Those kind of people. So I would say based on my numbers, I mean, I think it was about like 50-50 referrals and then sphere of influence. And then there's like other ones who kind of just trickle in.
That's awesome.
Go for it, Myra.
When you started, did you have a big database? Like some of us don't have, like I don't have children,
Yeah.
right? So my database is a little bit smaller. Was that a differentiator for you to start with a big number of people that you know?
I will say it definitely did help. I mean, that was actually one of the reasons I got into real estate in the first place, because my daughter was getting ready to go to kindergarten. I'm like, okay, I need to get back to work. I need to do something. And it was my brother-in-law who actually does real estate in Texas with his mother. And he's like, you know a lot of people, why don't you do real estate? So of course I'm like, oh yeah, I do know a lot of people. When I first started, I'm like, yeah, I know a lot of people who don't want to buy or sell a house right now. Like I just know a lot of people. So that's not really helping me, but eventually they did. So, I mean, I do think it was good, but the biggest thing you have to remember too, it's like, I know some people talk about farming or sponsoring this or getting that, is you have to be there and you have to be present. So the one place I do that where I'm fine sending my money and doing that is at my daughter's school, because I've been there a long time and people know me. So if you're spending a lot of money sending out postcards to a neighborhood where no one knows you or other things and people don't know you, I just don't know that you're going to get a return on investment on that. Like they have to see you, meet you, know you, talk to you before they're going to start have that level of trust, before they're going to start giving you business.
Thank you.
That's right. Yep. All right, one more, Markia.
It's a two-part question. At what point did you evolve? Do you leverage anything in your business, and at what point did you realize that you need to leverage?
Well, that's a great question, because I'm very
We've
honest
had
with
many
you. Yeah.
conversations about this.
It took me way too long to do that, quite frankly. You know, I was trying to do it all. And I actually remember it was an agent in this office, and she said that to me. And it kind of like took me aback a little bit, because in your mind, you think, you know, oh God, no one's going to do it the way I can do it. I can do it the best. And so you're trying to do everything for everybody. You're like, because I can be the only person who does this. And she's like, your clients see this. They see how busy and kind of crazy and frenetic you are. And they may be thinking, you know, I don't know that I can give Carrie this new business. I don't know that she can take it on right now. She's really busy. So definitely, you know, a good transaction coordinator. And I've been through a few, and I love who I'm with right now. I cannot say enough amazing things about her. She's amazing. She takes every single thing off my plate and makes it easy. And admin is my biggest other thing. I do have a coach as well, which that took me a little bit to get there too. But I have got someone who's going to be helping me with admin stuff as well too. And so that way I feel like I can better stay in my lane. Like I don't like organizing things and putting them in database. And so guess what? I don't really do it, you know, and I don't do some of those things I should be doing. Now you tell me, hey, call these people. I'll call these people. All the, I mean, I'm not going to cold call, but people I know like, oh, you hadn't talked to these people, you know, in a year or several months, call them. Okay, I'll call them. I'll do those things. I'll go meet with them. I'll go out. I'll do those things, but I don't want to like put names in databases. Do something like that.
Well, and this is where you're a $500 an hour gal. You don't need to be doing $20 an hour stuff, right? You have to know where your strengths are and lean into those. But we also have this thing called lead with revenue, right? So we're not going to lead with debt, right? But we're going to lead with revenue, and we're going to make those dollars accountable to produce some sort of return, right? So, was this helpful, you guys?
Yes.
I mean, I wish I could take another 30 minutes with her. We're going to have her back. Stay where you're at, because we're going to talk a little bit about Bold. And because many of you, I mean, the majority of you raised your hands that you're going to Bold. Some of you didn't raise your hand, and at the risk of sounding like a broken record, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to let other people talk a little bit about Bold and what it has done for them. So, Diana, Scott, you guys come on up. And everybody give Diana.
Yes, ma'am. I did, thank you. You guys got 2 seconds, kidding. 2 minutes. Yeah,
All right, we're gonna start with you, Diana. Why in the world would you give up 1 day a week for the next, well, you just did last week, but starting next week, 6 more Thursdays? Why are you giving that up?
I think with the market right now, you've got to refocus. And it takes you back to the basics and it really gets you out of your comfort zone. It's making me do things I would never do, like for Simon to give us last week. Like, and he's like, don't reword it, just follow the script. And you know, it's in the book because it works. Rather, you know, we want to change it and make it our own. And it's, you've got to be comfortable with it, but it really gets you back into the motion of doing the right things and going in this market. You're going into the springtime, and this is the best time to be taking the class, to be honest with you, because you're going into when people are going to be the most motivated is right now. That's what
February,
I'm
thank
doing.
you for that. February has traditionally been our new spring for the
That's
last 5 years. So really what she's saying, we've never done a January bold. What a great time for
It's the
it.
best time to be doing it.
It is. Scott, what about you? You were not always a bold fan.
No,
We know
not at all.
Like
is
the market.
Yes. And, no, but what really changed me was the mindset change. And it was Scott Tunes. And I had done the pivot shift with him online. And when we did it on there, it wasn't the same as a regular bold, and they didn't push for the numbers. But honestly, every time I took bold, the other 4 times I'd taken bold, the only thing I heard in my head was make 100 calls. You got to make 100 calls a week. Did you make 100 calls? Everybody else in your group made 100 calls. Look at all these people making 100 calls. You didn't make 100 calls. That's all I heard. And I never made 100 calls. So I would always fudge, or not fudge. I would build, I would save up. No, I would save up. No, you know, you can redeem a foul if you don't make your 100 calls. So I would stack up names from open houses. And because if you put in 25 into your database, you erase one of your files. So I would stack up these numbers because I knew I wasn't going to make my 100 numbers, my 100 calls. But this last bold with Scott, I tell you what, the bold book is about this much, about this thick. The content that Scott brings is like this much because of his experience. He brings so much. And this was the first time. And he said, you know what? I don't care if you hit 100 calls. It's not about 100 calls. He said, I don't care if you graduate bold. Don't focus on graduating bold and focus on fouls and whether or not you make your calls. He said, look, if you've never made more than 10 calls in a week, next week, make 15. That's it. Just improve where you've been, because bold is about improving you, which is your biggest obstacle to success. And that was the first bold. I made 100 calls every week. I think there was 1 week I missed. The rest I made, including where we had a jump and we had to make 200 calls. I made 200 calls in a 2-week period. I've never done it before. And it's because of the way this guy, the amount of content and the mindset stuff that he brings. And I built up a momentum, and then I lost it all through the holidays. And so now I'm back, and I think I might have been the first one to sign up as soon as it was available, because I want to build that momentum back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the first.
Right, Carrie, what would you say?
Okay, well, I would say too, I mean, aside from business and stuff, I will say, you know, my husband, he's like, oh, you need to take bold, it helps your business. But honestly, I like the mindset that it is for my family. So I told my family, I'm like, guess what, everybody? Bold is coming on. I'm taking bold. They're like, oh, God. I'm like, you guys know what this means. Because I'm not the only one doing aspirations here. I make everybody in the family. We're driving to school in the morning. What are your aspirations? What are you going to be? Although, Fiona, I don't know if any of you were me before, Amber Rutherford, my youngest, she's like, Mom, my aspiration didn't work. I said I wanted to be a unicorn, the best unicorn I could be. And I did not become a unicorn. But I mentioned that to Marie Burgess because she liked that. And she's like, no, you tell Fiona she is the best unicorn she can be. And that's really what it is. I was going to say, I brought this. I'm going to show this real quick. about bold and mindset and what this does. And this is like right here. So this was from my last bold I did with Tammy. And what this is an exercise. They make you do it bold. So essentially you put this on your back and you like walk around the room. And then everybody writes stuff about this to you. This hangs up in my closet every day. So every day when I'm getting dressed or anything like this, I can look at this and read this. And if this isn't enough like inspiration to kind of make you feel better and drive you forward, I don't really know what it is. I mean, and that's what the funny thing is, we went last week, first, day of bold is fine, but I was like, I don't really care for first day of bold that much. I like it when I'm in my group and with my people and how close we become and the camaraderie and everyone else there, like those are my favorite things. So that's one of the reasons I do it. It's just this nice lift and pick me up and other people like helping and supporting, and you really, they make you think big, not just about your business, but about your family, about growing well, thinking about the future. I mean, I don't really think about those things so much, and bold kind of makes you do that. And also, they still make you write that letter, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they make you kind of write a letter to your future self. And I remember one time I did it and they said, hey, don't put your current address because you might have a new address. And then remember that year that I did it, I sent mine to the office and I did have a new address. So like, that's kind of the power of bold, because I know a lot of you are like, I'm sure I'm not paying that money.
I just got my
I
letter
promise
yesterday.
it's worth it.
My husband put it on my desk last night.
So what they do is they send you the letter a year later of what you wrote the year before.
Can I say something, Robin?
Yes.
If you're on the fence about joining, I would sign up. I think Robin sent, or someone sent out an email one day this week. There's scholarships.
No,
available.
it's closed,
It's closed now?
just closed.
So
Yeah,
there's not
I'm
scholarships.
sorry, but if you are still interested and you're struggling, please let me know, because we do have some agents that believe so much in that they will pay for half of your bold. Right? And then if you get 2 contracts, then guess what? You got it, the rest of the half is canceled out. So it can be completely free to you. So if you are interested, please let me know. And I'm gonna let you guys go because it's 12:05, but I want to just say this. Why is this so powerful? She looks at this every morning. I just want to tell you a little bit of what's on here, because this is what people think of Carrie. I've been in tears when I've read mine.
I know, it's so powerful. You just want to look at it all the time. So,
Seriously,
yeah.
you don't understand how people see you. And so I just want to read, the very first one is someone I aspire to be. Wow. And you're going to see that every morning. What do you think that does for her? I got to bring my A game today, right? A giver, always happy to help. Freaking rock star and so smart. This is what she wants to live up to every single day now, right? So that's why thank you for that. That's why bold is so powerful. It isn't the fact it's shooting a business. Mindset. We're our biggest, like Scott said, we're our biggest obstacle to our own success. How many of you can self-sabotage all day long? Okay, so you guys, thank you so much for being on. All right, you guys, you're awesome. I will see you up at Chart Masters. See you guys soon. Thanks for being here.